Okay.
I don't know if that's going to work. It's now 5:40. It's the start of a very big day. So we just climbed Ella Rock, then we're going to Lipton Seat, which is a viewpoint, then a big waterfall, and then Little Adams Peak for sunset. We got here because the sunrise yesterday was amazing and I wanted to see the sunrise from Ella Rock. It took 40 minutes to climb. A more leisurely pace is probably an hour, but it's February and the sun comes up at about, well, it's already starting, so the sunset starts proper at 10 to 6. But very excited for today. Looking forward to seeing the sunrise and then getting started with a big day trip around Ella. Nice. Getting pretty windy now. Yes, that was very, very good. Well worth coming. Ooh, the hair's a bit crazy. That dog just followed us up in the dark, and apparently he just stays here all day. Good start to a day. So we're just making our way down from Ella Rock, and and yes, the sunrise was very nice. I have to say the sunrise yesterday was probably even better. I didn't video it, I just enjoyed it. But either way, Ella Rock is worth doing. And then we're going somewhere over there to Lipton Seat next, and then to the waterfall. Finish it off with Little Adams Peak for sunset. It's been an early start, it was a 4:15 start. If anybody's curious why the channel's called With the Sparrows, it's because we have a phrase in England called getting up at sparrow's fart, which means to get up really early. And I used to, well, I still do get up quite early to take pictures, so that's where it came from. And yesterday evening, the whole hillside had like a line of fire going through. So last night, apparently, the villagers were working all night to dig out fire stops. Otherwise, the whole hillside might have gone up. They managed to get it under control. Don't really understand why somebody would set fire to a hill, but each to their own, I guess. No, not at all. We just found the first clearing that they made, which stopped it. They didn't need the second one, and you can see all of the charring from the fire. And this is the clearing they made. So it worked. But the whole side of the hill was on fire. Yes. After Nicaragua, I can appreciate how wildfires can get out of control. And the guy was saying that in the dry season, the fires can last 2 or 3 days and they have to call in the military to, you know, clear areas and drop water on the hillside. So it's pretty serious stuff. Could be really dangerous. Don't understand why somebody would do that. The fact that they burn rubbish could start it. I mean, that's, if I was going to be cynical about it, I'd say that's a fire hazard in itself. That's a completely different topic. So, that is Little Adams Peak, and we were somewhere up there. I love how the hillside ridges make different sort of layers of colour. It's really pretty. In terms of how hard Ella Rock is, it's not particularly hard. 40 minutes to 1 hour if you are of able body. Yeah. So the final thing on Ella Rock is that apparently most people do Little Adams Peak for sunrise because it's an easier hike and it only takes 20 minutes. So the amount of people that were there is fairly typical, sort of 7 to 10 people, which is very nice actually. It was nobody really making a lot of noise, except for when people put their drones up, me and about 2 other people. But for sunrise it was just everybody sitting there and watching it and enjoying it. So if you want to avoid the crowds for sunrise, apparently do Ella Rock, not Little Adams Peak. Right, enough of Ella Rock. Time to get to Lipton Seat. 1.5 hours by tuk-tuk. My bum is going to be sore by the end of it.
Transport for the tea using to the tractors, this road. That's the very bad.
Just on our way to Lipton Seat, and we've taken a detour through a tea plantation. What's it called? Nayabedde? Nayabedde.
Yeah, Nayabedde.
Nayabedde Tea Estate. And it's on a hill. We were driving up a hill for 20 minutes to see this viewpoint. It's a big old hill. Took us 20-25 minutes to drive up. Admittedly, the roads are terrible. The whole hillside, everything you can see is just packed with tea plants, and they're so dense. It sort of boggles the mind how they planted tea over the whole hillside. It should be good. Oh, that's Lipton's. Oh, so that's Lipton Seat up there. And we just stopped halfway. You can take another route, but he said that it was more scenic. So how far away are we from Lipton Seat?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay, nice. So this is Lipton Seat of Lipton tea fame. So Thomas Lipton, who founded Lipton Tea, used to come up here, sit. Over there, there's a statue. He used to sit here and observe his estate and plantation and ponder what to do with it. It's a really nice viewpoint and good to see. Monkey. It's a very good viewpoint, and it's cool to see where Lipton Tea started. The whole hill is filled with tea plants, as I said earlier, and it's very impressive. I mean, there's also the side of it where he was a Scotsman. There's an undercurrent of the dark and sordid past of British colonialism, all in the name of tea, at least here, so everybody can have their breakfast tea. Ridiculous, isn't it? Apparently, on a clear day, you can even see the south coast from here, which I think it's like 180 kilometers away. For you flat earthers. There he is, Sir Thomas Lipton. The founder of Lipton Tea in the 1800s. So when I was looking this up, some of the sites were saying that it was a 2.5 hour walk. Most people seem to just drive up here. The walk would be on the roads through the tea plantations. I think it would be a little bit monotonous, but the views are great. One thing to note is that you do have to pay for vehicles, so it's 600 rupees. Apparently a few weeks ago it was 100. Supposedly that's happening all over Sri Lanka. Prices are doubling at an alarming rate. I suppose I'd better go and have a cup of tea. So they've given me this, which apparently is called Jaggery, and you have it with plain tea instead of sugar. Smells a bit like toffee, and you just... Oh! Yeah, very sweet. Almost tastes like licorice. It's a bit too sweet for me. No thanks. Wow. Finally, a spicy sort of sambal. It's almost tastes a bit like kimchi. It's probably one of the best things I've tasted in Sri Lanka. Wow. Bravo, bravo. Whilst I've been having breakfast, I've done some research. So it's nearly 2,000 meters tall. And on a clear day, you can see a port. I don't think you can see the south coast. That was a lie. And you can also see 3 different lakes. I can't see any lakes. So. And then the other one is that apparently 80%, I mean this is conjecture because somebody just said, but 80% of Sri Lankans just drink tea straight, like black tea, which I think it's the other way around in England. Most people drink tea with milk. Anyway, that stuff's boring. It's an interesting one. I'm glad I'm here. The roti and sambal was weirdly one of the best things I've eaten here. It's nice to be here, to see an establishment like Lipton Tea. The problem is that it's an hour outside of Ella, and the road up here, which, you know, it's nice through the tea plantations, is a terrible road. So it's an hour and a half an hour of which you're getting shaken about for a view that, I mean, if it's a good day, the view will be, I mean, you can see a long way, like a really long way. It's strange. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I came. Would I recommend it? No. If you have the time, yeah, sure. But would I go out of my way for it? No. That's the honest truth. Okay. Diyaluma Waterfalls. Dambula. I'll have to check that one. Waterfall next. So just on the way, a few things. It's Diyaluma Falls, which we're going to, which I think is the 3rd highest in Sri Lanka. The second thing is that on my comments about British colonialism, ironically, it's Independence Day today for Sri Lanka. Obviously this video will probably come out in a few weeks, but I thought that was quite funny. And then third, you know, it's probably because of the clouds, so you can't see that far from Lipton Seat. But I would argue that the views along the way as you're going through the tea plantations, like this one, are better. Would you agree?
Yes.
Emphatic. Right, let's get going to Diyaluma Falls. Goddamn, is that how I say it?
Sorry?
The waterfalls? Diyaluma?
Yeah.
Is that how
Diyaluma.
Diyaluma.
Yes.
If I had to learn Sinhalese, I would be screwed. I'm terrible.